Good morning, YouTube. I got up early today so I could walk down to a local beach because yesterday I seen that there was a closure here at the local stinger nets because of some jellyfish. So I just wanted to walk down and see if I could see anything washed up on the beach. Now it's a little bit windy, probably the most windiest day of the week. So the ocean's looking a little bit rough, but not too rough by our standards at all. And yeah, so we're going out today to the reef. Looks like it's a mid-tide. It should be dropping all day. But this is the stinger net enclosure where people in Far North Queensland actually go swimming when there's jellyfish, and I guess it offers a bit of protection and peace of mind from the crocodiles. But yeah, I'm going to walk a section of the beach here and see if any of these jellies have washed up. It's been a pretty good week. Some amazing dolphin encounters. I mean, it's been pretty epic. Flat seas. There was a day, not yesterday, the day before, where the ocean was completely flat, like an entire glass out the entire day. And I just can't remember that happening too often in my time here anyway. Alright, so I'm going to flip this camera for a bit and give you guys a look at this beach. And for those of you which have never seen 4 Mile Beach in Port Douglas before, feast your eyes. It's a lovely spot. You know, the temperature right now is so lovely. It's like being in an air-conditioned room. I mean, the water temperature is about 28 degrees at the moment, and it's, what is it? What's the date? We're in November. It is November the 7th. Wait, no, Thursday the 20th of November. So getting towards the end of the year. Jellies start to wash up. We've seen one box jellyfish, formerly known as a tomoya. You know, everybody knows these jellyfish as tomoya, but I think it got reclassed some years back, and they're called a Alentina alata now. Very box jellyfish like. I actually swam with one and filmed one about 3 years ago, but we usually see those out on the reef. Not so much life-threatening, but yeah, I mean, he'll give you a zap. But the more dangerous ones that we find here are mainly along the beach. And funny story, a friend of mine, who we call Uncle Bully, you'll know who he is, but he was fishing down at the fuel wharf where there's a wharf where some of the boats fuel up at a sort of gas station. He was fishing and he had a bit of the box jellyfish tentacle on the fishing line, and when he pulled the bait in to rebait it, he got zapped by some of this tentacle, and you know, instant vomiting, sheer pain, like you've been struck with a burning hot blade. Yeah, you don't want to get one of those wrapped around you. So, you know, the jellyfish are incredible, you know, and the adaptations that jellyfish have made over time to hunt and troll along the coastlines is remarkable. And we got not only the box jellyfish here, but we have the Irukandji jellyfish, and a lot of people think that the Irukandji jellyfish is just one species, but it's not. It's around 30 species of jellyfish which can cause the Irukandji syndrome. And you know, there are all different magnitudes of pain and hell. You know, a lot of people stress about this. They come up to me on the boat and they freak out because they've got a little zap. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds, perhaps thousands of species of jellyfish, probably thousands in the ocean. But if you get an instant zap, chances are it's going to be something, you know, it'll be painful perhaps, but nothing that we're super worried about. It's when people come up to us, you know, just subtly and go, you know what, my back's really hurting, severe lower back pain, and then it progresses into like this crunching of the curling up of their body, and all their muscles start to contract and the pain just starts to set in. And I think these little tiny jellyfish can carry so much payoff in their toxins. It's incredible, and they've had to because they're super small, right? So being super small, they want to hunt larger prey. They've need a bigger payload to be able to hunt those prey. So I'm not seeing anything along here yet. I'll flip it again and we'll look together. Hey? Bits of trash along the beach, and unfortunately today I'm not collecting trash, or if I start focusing on collecting the trash, that's all I'll do. So I'm sorry for if that's you've seen a few bits of rubbish go by. Some serious apologies, but I'll be coming for that later. What a light. Very moody. I can't wait to get out to sea today, out on the reef. It's gonna be awesome. This is the windiest day of the week, they say. But still not seeing any jellyfish at all. Nothing. They're probably all out there in the water. These bits of weeds, sargassum. Washed up, churned up, washed onto the beach. It's everywhere off the coast here, on the inshore reefs. It usually grows, when it grows in the ocean, it floats up like this. So it kind of looks like kelp forest when you swim with it. But it's a habitat for all different types of creatures, and it's everywhere out there. So seeing this stuff on the beach is sort of a year-round thing, phenomenon. Yeah, I mean, it can be seasonal. Yeah, I guess it is seasonal, but I mean, it's always there, right? So there you go, that's what that stuff is. Still not seeing any jellies washed up. And you know what, this beach got closed yesterday down there in the stinger nets because of some jellyfish sightings in there. Maybe someone got snapped. You know, the netting on the stinger net isn't tight enough to keep all jellies out. I mean, some of these jellies, these Irukandji jellyfish anyway, they're like a fraction of the size of your fingernail. Can't see them, they'll whack you. Yeah. Wow, it's just beautiful down here this morning. Now I'm starting to see more trash. Sorry, I can't pick you up today. What do we got here? This is a strange looking object. You ever seen one of those before? That looks like a bit of a palm seed. Morning. Alright, that's pretty sweet. It's funny when you film on a beach, especially when you film yourself talking, like people look at you like you're an alien, but hey, that's the world that we live in these days, so that's what it is. Crocodiles. You're probably thinking, man, Far North Queensland, he's walking on the beach, there's crocodiles there. Pretty safe beach, not to say that there's not crocs here, definitely are. We had a crocodile walk into the Sheraton Mirage. There's a hotel, big hotel right there behind those trees. So the little crocodile, which was 1 meter long, literally had to walk from this beach, crawl up, and the saltwater pools, because they pump the salt water from the ocean into the pool. I think it's like 7 acres of swimming pool this resort has. And yeah, it just slipped in, and I'm devastated that I didn't know about it, because I would have went straight there and probably swam with it. It sounds a bit loose, but it's I mean, it was only 1 meter long. Now, yesterday, the day before, down at this beach over here, Pebbly Beach, actually, Pebbly Beach, yesterday, there was a report on the local Facebook page that there was a big crocodile swimming along. So I just did a video at Pebbly Beach the other afternoon when Mum was in town. Beautiful beach. If you haven't seen that video and you want to check it out, jump over. Maybe I'll attempt to put a card up in the corner. Yeah, but there was a big crocodile cruising along there yesterday morning at this time. So they're around, and that's only, I don't know, about 10 kilometers from here. Yeah, so plenty of crocs around, but as of yet, no jellyfish. So 2017, I think, those same stinger nets got closed because firstly, a crocodile was witnessed going over the stinger nets into their Christmas Eve. Then on Christmas Day, there was some photographs taken of two little crocodiles, about a meter long each, side by side, just sunbaking in between the flags. I'll actually try and dig that photo out. It was on the front page of our newspaper when we had a newspaper in Port Douglas. I mean, they've started to reprint, but there's been a long time without it, which is amazing. But yeah, it was really iconic, and it's just such a North Queensland thing. Crocodiles sunbaking in between the flags. Gotta be safe. Better be safe than sorry. Alright. I mean, I do have to work today. It's about 6:30 now. I've got to be at the boat at 7. So I'm going to turn around and yeah, can't see any jellyfish. I was hoping I'd see some washed up on the beach here. But I guess we'll turn around and head back the other way. We might hit that tree line and see what's up there. There's a lot of people on the beach here, so yeah. Morning. Yeah, I got to get out of the fast lane because lots of exercises using this beach, and so they should. What an amazing beach for it. So let me take you into the coconuts. On our way back, I can smell fire. Someone's probably had a beach fire down here somewhere here, so I gotta be careful where I walk because hot spot for the backpackers close by. They come down and have fires and celebrate life as they should. Not always put fires out, so it's actually prohibited to have fires here on 4 Mile Beach. Hasn't always been this way. In fact, the day that they changed the law, the local law, or put the fine out or something and published it in the paper, I built a colossal fire. Like, I found out that the law had changed as I was like pretty much lighting this fire, and unfortunately I bent the rules that day, but I don't think I've done it since on this beach. But you know, you can understand how beautiful this place is, and you know, people are just living right through those trees up there. So imagine smoke just pouring in all night. You'd be frothing and you'd be pretty pissed off. So I'm just going to pop up in to the little trees here, show you some of this coconut stuff. Husks and husks. It's like those travelers have come down here to feast. It's like an indigenous midden. Centuries of shellfish collection, when really this is only probably just the coconuts they've eaten this season. But yeah, let's poke through these trees quickly on the way back because we got to go to work. Hey doggy, out for a morning walk. Ooh, coconuts, husks. You know, a lot of these fall down, they get washed up, pushed into the beach a bit more, and see this one's been eaten by something. And believe it or not, here in Port Douglas, we have a really, really healthy bandicoot population. Yeah, it's true. You see them all the time. You think it's a rat and you freak out, but it's actually a bandicoot. Over at the backpackers at Dougie's, you guaranteed to see them. They literally sleep amongst the backpackers in their tents. It's pretty nuts. Look at this pandanus. Look at that. Cool. We're good. All right, we're gonna put some paste on. A couple of lizards running through. Not a lot of rubbish here. See, I mean, Port Douglas Beach being it's such a hot spot. Look at those cool trees up there. Awesome. Being such a hot spot, you know, there is a lot of volunteers that come down here all the time and clean. So it's usually just the stuff washing in on the tide. Oh, the sand is so fine. That's a pretty rare thing up here. That's beautiful. Most of our sand up here in Far North Queensland is just crushed and milled up coral. So it's in the process of becoming fine. So when you see this fine stuff, that's lovely. All right. Trying to resist the urge to forage. Just going to poke out through these trees and maybe head back down to the water line and head back down into the nets before too many people get on the beach and start shooting me weird looks. What's that? That's cool. That wind is dropping off now. It's a lot less than when I first come. It's cool. It's east-southeast wind. Whoa, look, green coconuts. Mate, they'll be down here this afternoon eating those. Whoa. And where did they come from? Let's check it out. All the way up there. Reckon you can get up that one? I mean, why would you climb them when they fall? Actually, you probably should not walk under them. Imagine calling in sick. I'm so sorry, boss. I can't come to work. I got hit by a coconut. The dog ate my homework. My chicken wouldn't lay its egg. All right, yeah, we're here. Back down to the tide line. As I said, dropping tide today. Pretty big drop, I think. I think it's 1.6 meters in fall. So down to the end of the day, which would be great for us on the reef because that means lower tide, more protection, better snorkeling, sheltered conditions, everyone has fun, safer, that type of thing. But what people don't know about here, and along most of the Queensland coast and here at the GBR, is that right out there, all the way to the horizon, it's actually really, really shallow. It is at the deepest part. I mean, there's some 50-meter deep sections, but for the northern half of the Great Barrier Reef, it's only on average about 30 meters deep. And then you go down to the southern half of the GBR, inside the barrier I'm talking, it goes down to about 80 meters deep. So there's this really shallow shelf which extends all the way down the Queensland coast. And when you come to Queensland and you look at the beach like this, you probably think, where are the waves? G'day mate, how are you? Good, thank you. So he's like, where are the waves? And they're not here. I mean, these are the biggest sort of waves that we get, and they're not here because of that barrier of the reef, and it makes a very shallow lagoon, and it really helps with coastal erosion. Yeah, so pretty shallow out there. People spin out. We go out on the boat, and it feels like they're over this deep, dark abyss when really, and that horizon line, it only gets down to about 20 meters deep. There's a few deeper channels, very, very deeper, riverbeds from when we're in the last glacial period, 20,000 years ago, the glacial maximum, where sea levels were 125 meters lower, and then everywhere from here to the horizon would have been dry land. The coastline extended out in this area another 55 kilometers, so it's, things are always changing. But yeah, really shallow out there, and it creates this habitat of warm water. In fact, traditionally, or can we say traditionally, for the last 10,000 years, during the Holocene period, the lagoon has held the temperature ranges of about 1 degree Celsius, no more higher or lower. So there's only about that 1 degree fluctuation above the baseline. So really temperate time, really predictable conditions, and it has allowed the Great Barrier Reef to grow once again. And surprisingly, the reef that we snorkel on, that I work on out here off Far North Queensland, this is actually the 6th version of the Great Barrier Reef that's grown and formed over the last 1 million years. So maybe a video on that some other time, but that really spins people out. I thought the Great Barrier Reef was like a bazillion years old. Like, no, it's just 1 million, 70, a million years ago, the tectonic plate was 70 kilometers further south, and the cooler currents pushed around the top end of Australia, around Papua, and it wasn't until that closed up with the Indonesian archipelago that the warmer currents could push down the east and west coast of Australia, bringing all those other epic invertebrates with them, and you know, forming these Australian reefs as we know it. But yeah, maybe a video on that some other time, because right now we're looking for jellyfish and it's to no avail. Let's turn the camera around and you can look for yourself. No jellies. Maybe I'll see some on the boat today, out in the water. Hope not. But yeah, in the water we are wearing protective lycra suits. Everyone, it's compulsory now over summer. That'll push through probably to the end of April. And it's crazy that a jellyfish cannot sting you through a lycra. And maybe I'll explain that in some other time, but I haven't seen any. G'day mate, how are ya? Mate, just heard there was some jellies reported down here yesterday, so just coming down. Just heard there was some jellyfish down here yesterday, so I'm just coming down to have a bit of a look. Yeah, work on the reef team all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just just heading to work.
All right.
And yeah.
That's all.
Alrighty, we are back to the nets. Let's have a bit of a look here. This is probably the safest place if you're going to enter the water. I mean, for hundreds of kilometers along this coast. Perhaps down at Palm Cove, but which is, you know, 30 or 40 kilometers to the south. But as far as this area goes, if you're going to enter the water, this is where you do it. And you do it when the lifeguards are around, because they're monitoring this stuff. You know, I think it was, you know, they used to, I mean, it's like any other life-saving little booth over there. They've got the boards and the gear and, you know, the training. Again, there's no waves, so they don't really have to battle those, but they got to battle these other elements like jellyfish and crocodiles. You know, just standard things for us, but present. And it's really great to raise awareness on how to enjoy these ecosystems, how to enjoy the beach up here in Far North Queensland. Some stupid decisions are made. The crocodile attack with the 14-year-old boy up in the Daintree a couple of weeks ago. I mean, he was standing there waist deep in water in the Daintree fishing. Dude, bro, you know. I don't even have to say. But all right, so we're in the stinger nets. Now, when I was doing my scuba dive training, and for those of you which are not in the know, I've been dive instructing up here out of Port Douglas for quite a while. But when I was doing my dive training, I did one of my course dives right here. So when you become a scuba diver, there's a couple of different levels. First one, it's your open water scuba diver. That's your base level, which is epic ticket. I think everyone in their lifetime should try and get this qualification, because you got it for life. Then there's the advanced diver, where you have a couple of categories that you can choose from. A whole bunch of activities which can help you achieve that advanced diver certification. And then you have your open water rescue diver cert, where you learn more about CPR, you learn more about in-water rescuing, and if you're working in the industry, this is an absolutely must recommendation. In fact, we hold it as high in regard as these guys' bronze medallion. Like, you can prove to us that you're made of a bit tougher stuff. And when I did my rescue diver cert, it was with a dive school, which I won't name because unfortunately they've fallen out of favor with the local community. I won't give them any air. But when I did my search and rescue dive to save money, we did our dive right over there, outside that back buoy, outside the stinger nets, in stinger season. And I know now, now I've become a dive instructor, that, you know, it's all about making money, essentially, for these guys, for those guys, that dude, not the guys. And this was just a cost cut. And a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, there was a big 3.5 meter crocodile just cruising over where we did our search and rescue dive, and it was blowing 25 knots then, so you can imagine this all washy and low vis. And yeah, it was, we actually aborted that dive because it was so crazy. But yeah, that was around the same time as the lifesavers here. They actually got drones to help surveil out there behind the break, if you can call it that. So yeah, not much out there, just sand, just like any other beach. So, thanks for watching. Hope any of that was a little bit insightful. I have to go down to the marina and jump on the boat. So we're going out to the reef today. Beautiful conditions, water's 28 degrees. We got a full boat coming, 50 people, and yeah, I'll get on with it. So thanks again. If you like this type of videos, hit a like, subscribe, all that type of stuff. Trying to build this channel, and I'll get around more parts of the local area and do some more insightful stuff. So thanks again, tuning out.